Hey, Faithful, welcome to another episode of Voice of a Niner Faithful. I'm Jason, your host. Today we'll be talking about the Niners lost to the Seahawks last week. We'll go into a little bit of the game for tomorrow. Yes, it's Saturday when I'm recording this. And talk a little bit about Brock Purdy and a few of the other players that are going to be out tomorrow. But before we get started, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to wherever you're watching this video from. All right, so let's get down to it. So yes, it was a pretty rough loss last week, wasn't it? That last second TD by Geno Smith, that was rough. We should have won that game. Of course, we should have won several other games as well. All division games for that matter. Yeah, there were some other games that weren't division that we should have won too, but those are the important ones. So now we've lost a game to each of our division opponents. We have beat the Seahawks, though, already, so we're okay with them. I think if we can still pull off the wins against the Rams and the last game of the season against the Cardinals, we'll still be in good shape. But we'll get to that a little bit later. This game, though, while, yes, it was a disappointing loss, but there were still some decent things that happened during the game for the Niners. As much as everybody is, saying, Brock Purdy was hurt and all that, and Nick Bosa was hurt and all that, several other keys that happened during that game that, missed tackles and the such. Brock Purdy actually didn't do too bad. He was 21 for 28. Here, let me bring that up. It's on ESPN. So 21 for 28, 159 yards. Yeah, not a lot of yards, but still sufficient. He threw a touchdown. He averaged 5.7. Yeah, the interception wasn't thrilling, but it happens, even to the best quarterbacks in the world. Sacked a couple times. His QBR would have been nice if it was in the hundreds, but it wasn't. So those things, it wasn't horrible. He's had worse games. This game we didn't lose because of Brock Purdy. Christian McCaffrey, 19 carries, 79 yards, plus he had 4 catches for 27. So he's still doing pretty good coming back from his injury. Juwan Jennings, of course, he's been a monster. 10 catches, 91 yards, a touchdown. He was targeted 11 times and caught 10 of them. That's pretty damn good. I kind of wish that Debo would have got more involved in the passing game and Ricky Pearsall, but it is what it is. So I think we still have some decent things to think about. We also have Nick Bosa still, even leaving the game, he still had a sack and a half and Leonard Floyd this sack and a half. And Yenter Gross-Matos had a sack. This is still good production. They are making some progress, though it needs to get, admittedly, it needs to get cleaned up. So while, yes, there were some definite bad things that happened during the game, especially that last drive that our defense let Geno Smith get in the end zone, I think we're not as horrible as it could be. So let's think positive. Yes, there's a lot of people that are saying out there, "Oh, let's just throw away the season, pack it up, and we'll improve for next year." I've seen some people say in my Facebook fan groups and other places, it's time, let the starters sit the whole game, and this is going to be a loss for sure, and all of that, and the last time that our backup quarterback threw the ball was 2022 in Cincy. So that doesn't actually bother me that much, and I'll explain. But let's finish up quick with the Seahawks game, and then we'll move on to the game against Green Bay. Again, Christian McCaffrey, awesome. Not awesome, but still pretty good. Brock Purdy did pretty good. Not his greatest game, but definitely nowhere near his worst. So I still would not call this game on Brock Purdy. This game I'm still calling on our defense, and it was after uh, after I can't even think Nick Bosa left the game. There we go. Once Nick Bosa left the game, for whatever reason, everything went down. He's one person. He's awesome. He is. I'm going to say it. He's the best player on the team. Period. When he's out there, we still should have been able to stop Geno from getting a touchdown. All right. So yes, we should have done better. We should have won that game. It's over. Nothing else we can do about it. We're 5-5. As you can see down here on the bottom, because of the losses to Arizona and LA. And we're only under Seattle because of the points, the PA. So this week, we could actually jump up to second or first. We'll see. It could happen. So let's move on, so we don't get too involved in the Seahawks loss. That was just, I'm sure we're all torn up about it. I know I was for sure. Let's move on. Let me transition back to me. And let's talk about the game coming up. Tomorrow's game against Green Bay. I wish I could have made it. I'm here in Wisconsin. I just could not afford it this time. I did, however, let's see if I can pull it up here. Just a nostalgic thing here. This picture is from 15 years ago when I went and saw Green Bay against the Niners. You can see Frank the Tank there, and you can see Alex Smith. So yeah, that was a fun game to go to. I think we actually lost that game, to come think of it, but it was still a fun game to go to. Switch that back. But yes, Brandon Allen hasn't played in a while, and he's always been a backup. And he hasn't played since 2022 in Cincy, and he didn't do that good during that game. But I will reference someone else who was a backup quarterback for the 49ers, who didn't do really good when he came out with the Jets. And I'm referring to Sam Darnold. He spent 1 year as our backup. 1 year as our backup. And we all saw what he did with the Jets and in Carolina. He was terrible. He was not a great quarterback. He spends 1 year as a backup with the 49ers, and look what he's doing in Minnesota now. Our coaching staff, our QB coaching staff, I have faith in them. I have faith that they've coached up Brandon Allen enough that he can successfully get by one game. I think he can do it. Dink and dunk and run the ball. If Shanahan does that, I think we actually have a chance of winning. Dink and dunk, run the ball. Get the yak yards. Go back to what was successful for us. Run it down their throats. You got to use all three running backs. Hell, you need to use CMC. You need to use Mason. You need to use Garendo. Kittle's going to be in there. I think Kittle's going to be Brandon Allen's safety blanket. And that's not a bad safety blanket if you think about it. So I think we're going to have a better chance than a lot of people are thinking. Now, the other people who are going to be out, let me bring that up here. Switch my screen again. So we can see here, Kevin Givens is out for a groin. Charvarius Ward's still out for personal reasons, but he's at least he's around the facility again. He's back around. Would be nice if he would have been playing today, but it's understandable. Got to give him some room. Brock Purdy's right shoulder, he's out. But quick thing about Brock Purdy's shoulder, it's not an injury that's keeping him out the year. They did an MRI. No permanent damage, no major, no structural damage, nothing like that. It's just sore. He landed on it funky, and it might, let him rest this week so he'll be ready for next week. I think that one's going to be even a tougher game against the Bills, and I think we'll need Purdy for that. So this is not a permanent thing. He's not out for the year. I've seen some crazy things again on Facebook and everywhere else saying, "Oh, he's going to be out for the year. We're going to do terrible." No. Have faith, faithful. That's something else I'm going to go into near the end of the episode. I'm going to talk about being the fan. But let's continue on. Nick Bosa, he had to go out again. At least he played. He got a sack and a half again. Hopefully, a whole week off will give his hip and oblique time to heal. Jacob Cowing is out with a concussion. That's too bad. He, as a rookie, to get a concussion that early in his career, not good for him. I hope he gets back soon and it's not going to affect him too much. Bethune out. Trent Williams and John Feliciano, both questionable. They're going to be game time decisions. That's what I heard. That's what I read. They're game time decisions. I can actually see that they might take it easy and they might just say, "All right, fine, Trent, you're not going to play," but we'll see. Maybe Feliciano will be ready more than Trent will. Don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. Game time. So I think we actually still have a chance. Green Bay isn't great against the run. If we can just go old school, last year before, hand off the ball, but we need to swap it up. We can't just, all right, here's CMC, take the ball 40 times. Shanahan actually has to spread it out some. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I would love to see both CMC and Mason in the backfield at one time. That, I think, might confuse the defense to, hey, who's going to get the ball? But that's of course my opinion. I'm just a fan, but I still think that we have a better chance here than a lot of people are saying. Run the ball, dink and dunk, use your security blanket and Kittle, and we actually have a chance to win this game. Now, a lot of people are going to say, and like I said, now we're getting to the point where we're going to talk about what people think we should do as fans. We should do as a team. We're 5-5. If we happen to somehow pull off this win, 6-5. Let's say, just for the sake of argument, we lose to the Bills, 6-6. We're still in good shape. The other three teams in our division have pretty rough schedules too. And I'm not seeing them winning all of their games. We have a chance to still pull off this season and at least get into the playoffs. We are a different team in the playoffs. We can do this. I have faith in our team, and I think we can pull it out. Winning the division is our top priority right now. I'm not saying that we should abandon the whole thing. We should keep our goal as the Super Bowl and winning that game. One step at a time, though. Win the game you're at. Pay attention to what you're doing. Fundamentals. So let's concentrate on the Packer game first, then the Bills game, and so on. I personally think that this game is important, but our playoff hopes and aspirations into the Super Bowl will come down to Week 18 against the Cardinals. I think that is going to be our most important game. That will get us in the playoffs, and that'll springboard us. That'll energize us. I think that's what it's going to end up taking. I think coming down to Week 18. But that's football, isn't it? That's what we love. We love that excitement. Yes, we hate the defeat. It's not going to argue that, but we can pull this out. So that brings me to some other things that I'm in many Facebook fan groups, and I look at the TikTok and all other social medias, and fan our fan base is interesting to say the least. We have fans like myself. I'd like to consider myself an optimist for our team. And then we have fans that are, all right, let's cut our losses, think about next year, save our starters, whatever. This does not mean that any of us are not true fans. We are all true fans. I'm not a big fan. I am not a big fan of people, calling out, "Oh, you're not a true fan if you believe that." No, that is inaccurate. Just because you believe something that it's your opinion, that doesn't mean you still don't love your team. Doesn't mean you're not a fan of your team. Doesn't mean you don't believe in your team. It just means that at that particular point in time, you're seeing a lot of frustration happening, and that's how you're feeling at the time. It doesn't mean that they're not true fans. So let's cut that out of our lives. Let's not. Oh, you're not a true fan. Garbage. Let's cut that out. Let's get rid of that. We're all true fans. Let's bring ourselves up instead of putting ourselves down. If you don't agree with something that you're reading about, their opinion on the team, that's fine. You're allowed not to agree with it. Doesn't mean you have to put them down, tell them they're not true fans. If you don't have something to pull them up, just lay off. I know it's your opinion. You have your right to your opinion as well, and you want to state it, but let's just lay back a little bit. Be polite. Say, hey, I respect you as a fan, but this is my opinion on the subject. You don't have to say you're not a true fan. Let's keep that down to let's let the Dallas Cowgirl fans do stuff like that. Let's let the Sea Chickens fans do stuff like that. We're better. We are the 49er fans. All right. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I am going to say we actually pull out the win against Green Bay. It's going to be a closer game than I would like. It's going to be either a 3-point or a 7-point game. Touchdown or a field goal, one of the two. And it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. And we're all going to be stressing. I know I will. My brother is coming over, and he's a Packer fan, and we're going to be watching the game together. A couple years ago when the Niners played Green Bay in the playoffs, we both went to that game. And it was nice that I was able to go out as the victor. Yay. But they might win. Green Bay might win. I don't think they will. I have faith. I think we can pull it out. But that's okay. I forgive my stepbrother for being a Green Bay fan. With this said, let's all enjoy the game. Let's all enjoy our stress. We know it's going to be there. And let's cheer on our Niners. So, Green Bay going to lose to the Niners. I'm going to say 21-14 or 21-17, something to that effect. Lots of rushing yards. All right. You all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Enjoy football in general. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to anywhere you're watching this at. And go Niners!